Hello everyone, this is the Lady Deathwhisper Heroic Guide from LearnToPlayWoW.com, brought to you with the help of Guild Rise from Xavius. As it is the second boss of ICC, one would expect Lady Deathwhisper to be not so difficult. In fact, it isn't on 10 men, but it does become quite challenging on 25 men, especially because of the Vengeful Shades. We had the raid spread in two major groups, each group taking care of one side of adds, and we also had a tank in the back taking care of the add spawning there. Once the adds in each wave were down, we would DPS the boss for a little while till the new wave of adds would spawn. This method is safe and it gets the adds down reliably, but it may bring you close to the enrage timer as there is some efficiency loss because of the running up and down for the melees. If you are getting close to the enrage timer, then you could have a couple of your best single target DPS assigned full time on the boss. The majority of your raid would be taking care of the adds, and they would finish up a wave just as the next one would spawn. Players will get mind controlled, and this can become quite an issue if it is not handled properly. As you may already know, Druid Cyclone is the best form of CC for this situation, because it can't get broken and the person CC'd is protected from damage. Luckily, we had 3 druids in our raid, and each one of them had a mark assigned so that they would not cyclone the same target. If you don't have enough druids, then the ones that you do have should prioritize cyclones for the melees. Your other CCers should deal with the ranged. Why cyclone on the melees? Melees usually sit in areas next to the adds where consecration or death and decay or other AoE effects that can break CCs take place. Thus, cycloning melees while fearing ranged healers is recommended. It's best to have physical DPS on adherents and spell DPS on fanatics, but you can pretty much DPS any type of add as long as they are not reanimated. Reanimated fanatics, the skeletal types, can only be taken down by spell DPS. Reanimated adherents, also looking skeletal-like, can only be taken down by physical DPS. Deformed fanatics limp around slowly and need to be kited, either by a ranged or a tank. Doesn't matter who, whoever has more aggro on the deformed fanatic needs to kite it. Melees need to be careful not to steal the aggro. Empowered adherents do more damage and should be taken down quickly. From time to time, the adds will decide to self-detonate in a suicidal terrorist fashion. Just move to a side when you see the warning Dark Martyrdom, move away. Note that sometimes the add on the other side of the room will explode and not the one next to you, and you'll still get the warning. So move out a bit when you do get the warning, but if you don't see any bluish casting add, then you can move back and DPS. When you transition into phase 2, new adds will spawn. To make sure you don't get a double set of adds, you must do the following. Almost take down the shield. Kill a wave of adds, then go back and take down the shield completely before the next set of adds spawns. As the lady becomes active, all DPS should switch to the new set of adds. It is important to do this switch because the boss is immune to taunt and tanks need to have some time to build up aggro. Boost the threat of tanks using tricks of the trade and misdirect. We had 3 tanks, 2 on the boss, 1 on the adds. The tanks on the boss switch threat between each other as the touch of insignificance falls. Possibly the greatest challenge coming from the heroic version of this battle is being able to survive the vengeful shades. These follow players and then explode for 20k or more damage, if they reach it. If they don't reach their target in time, they will simply vanish away. What everybody in your raid needs to do is to look out for these fine lines indicating the spawn locations. These lines give a subtle pre-warning. When you do see the shades close to you, move away from them. Regardless if you are targeted or not, if you are ranged, melee, healer or tank, doesn't matter, move away. The shades follow the player that is closest to them, so if that player quickly runs, but some other player is slower to react or doesn't notice the shade will switch target and go for the new player, and it will explode. So always look out for the shades. Don't think you should be running away from them only when you get the DBM warning, vengeful shade attacking you. You should always run away from them. Groups of melee make perfect targets. That is why it is good to at least spread melees between boss and adds. Usually, if you see yourself high up on the threat on the boss, go for the adds. If you are DPSing adds and it looks like there are too many melees on the adds, then switch to the boss. Ranged and healers, as always, need to stay spread out and be aware of the shades just the same. You don't want melees running up into ranged or the other way around, and you also want to minimize shade explosion damage. The ranged and healers can stay mostly in the front and back of the room, leaving the center area for the boss and also leaving a bit of the sides relatively clear for the adds. This has been a guide from learntoplaywow.com. Thanks for watching.